Good evening and welcome to tonight's Hofstra women's basketball postgame press conference with head coach Danielle Santos Atkinson. Coach, give us your thoughts following tonight's game against Drexel.
Yeah, we not our best showing, not our best outing whatsoever. We turned the ball over an incredible amount of times. Our execution wasn't there. In the first half, we held them to 26 points, which is not bad defensively. We couldn't score, couldn't find the basket. We didn't work hard enough, honestly, to be able to score the baskets that we needed to score. But all of us disappointed in our play and how we played today. And now we've got a tall task to get ourselves back going to be able to perform on Sunday.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit there, but the lack of scoring today, do you attribute that to what Drexel was doing defensively or just missing shots?
We missed some shots. I mean, Drexel's a great defensive team. They don't pressure, they don't press, but they're solid and they're very fundamental and disciplined. And so they're going to stay in front of you. We needed to have better cuts, better action, better spacing to get them moving defensively. And we attacked the gaps. We were looking to get to the free throw line. I wish we'd come up with a bit more attacks at the rim. But we just didn't have the movement and the execution we needed tonight in order to score.
Coach, obviously Kishon Washington, great player. You guys held her to only 7 second half points. Was there any specific strategy towards defending her specifically?
Yeah, we wanted to. We mixed up who was guarding her. We wanted to pressure. We knew she'd be able to get her points. Our goal was to hold everybody else under their average. Again, you held a team to 58 points, 26 in the first half. If you're scoring on the other side, then that's a different ballgame. But we just weren't able to get those scores. We held her below our average. She still shot the ball extremely well. She didn't hit any threes, which was good. We held them, scoreless from the three-point line, which is a positive and a plus. But we gave up almost 40 points in the paint. So we don't want the alternative of that, no threes, but 40 points in the paint. We've got to be able to clean that up. But I thought the people that guard her worked hard to make her shots tough.
When Brandy goes down like that and then still comes back in the second half, obviously she's been banged up all year. She's been going through the last couple of weeks. What does that do for your group to show just the kind of toughness that she has to step out on the floor?
Yeah, we've got to have that toughness. Obviously, to see her go down again is not something that you want. But she's a tough player. She's physically tough. She's mentally tough. And it was good to have her come back in that second half. It was limited time, but at least having her back out there to know that could be ready to go for Sunday.
Coach, pregame we talked about how you would have Allie guarding Washington for the most part. How would you assess her performance against her tonight?
I thought she did a good job. She had 14 points in the first half, which again we didn't want, but some of those were transition buckets. Some of those were coverages where we needed a bit more help. But I thought we did a good job. She averages almost 27, 26 points, something in there. We held her below our average. We needed. There were other things that attributed to this loss, but I thought Allie did a good job in defending her and guarding her.
Coach, your defense came up with 24 rebounds on the night. What did you think of their ability to win the ball back?
We would have liked more offensive rebounds on that end. We gave up 13 offensive rebounds, which is too much to 12 second chance points. So I think we needed way more rebounds. We got out rebounded. We needed to do a better job of boxing out, better job of controlling the boards on the defensive rebounds, and we needed to go and get more second chance points on our end. Only 3 points for us on that side of the ball.
In terms of foul trouble with the team, I know it's been obviously something you've been working on all year to keep her out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
Something like this tonight where it obviously impacted in the paint. How do you kind of adjust that going into this weekend and obviously the last couple of the regular season?
Yeah, we've got to be smart. She's got to be smart, as you mentioned. It's something that's happened all year. She's got to learn to play without fouling, and she's got to be able to play with fouls. We need her on the floor. We need her defensive presence. We need her presence in the paint offensively. We got to figure out how to keep her on the floor. And when she does get fouls, she picks up fouls. Sometimes you get bad calls, bad luck. We've got to still continue to be able to play out of that. We can't get down or frustrated because we're in foul trouble or because we get fouls. There's 40 minutes in a game. You're not going to sit the whole game. We got to figure out how to be able to play after having to sit due to fouls.
Coach, what would you say are some positives from tonight's game against Drexel?
Few and far between. Few and far between. We Drexel does not normally turn the ball over. We did force them into 14 turnovers. Down the stretch with our press, we got up and we pressured them a bit. We did hold majority of their team below their average, and so although obviously Washington had 21 points, she's still below her average. The rest of the team, for the most part, we held around their average. So defensively, I thought we did a good job. Again, in the first half, we held them to 26 points, and you know, with that, if we're scoring, it's a different ball game. I thought our defensive efforts throughout portions of the game were pretty good.
2 days from now, obviously, you guys are back in action. Every game massive at this moment with what's at stake. How do you guys put this behind you and bounce back for Sunday?
Yeah, I think we got to keep our sights on just what you said. It means more. We got to take it one game at a time, but we got to understand the magnitude of each game. We are fighting for seeding right now, and the only thing that we control is what we do. We can't control what happens in other teams' games, whether they win or lose. We can only control how we come out and the outcomes of our games, and so we've got 3 more games left, and we've got to battle, fight, scrap, and claw, and give it everything we have in the remainder of these games. But we've got to, as you mentioned, we got to watch this, we got to learn from it, and we got to make sure that we don't see it ever again in the remainder of this season.
What does it mean to just take a part in the Play for K tradition every year?
Yeah, that's definitely something that's special and close to me. I mentioned before I had the privilege to work with Stephanie Glantz, who was with KL for 20 years at NC State, and so that was special. I felt like I didn't have the opportunity to know KL personally, but I did have the opportunity to learn a lot of her teachings and her values and coaching. Having the opportunity to work with Stephanie, but I think it's a great cause. I think there's so many people that are affected by cancer and breast cancer, and I think just being able to fundraise for it, contribute to it, support it however we can, is something that I want to continue to do and continue to push to make sure that we honor those survivors and those that have unfortunately passed.
Coach, Emma Von Essen finished with 11 points, 3 3-pointers. What did you make of her performance?
I thought she battled. When we needed people out there to be able to score, she was able to do that. They made it tough. Emma's not a freshman, but she's not a secret. She's going to be on everybody's scouting report as a shooter, everybody's scouting report as a scorer, and so she's going to get tough defenders on her. I thought she found a way to score. She found the basket, found a way to score, continued to battle throughout the game.
No more questions. This concludes tonight's post-game press conference. Coach, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.